Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon and our continued playthrough of Shame Week. At this point, we're going to be taking on First Martians, Adventures on the Red Planet. And similar to our last game that we tackled, Civilization A New Dawn, this one has been sitting around due to its difficult rulebook. I have watched Rodney Smith's Watch It Played, How to Play video several times. I've read through the rulebook. And it still isn't quite clear. So this is definitely going to be a learning experience. We are playing through the tutorial mission here, so hopefully it's not going to be too rough. I am interested in the fact that there is a campaign, because I always thought it would be fun to play a campaign of Robinson Crusoe where you actually get to start with a few of the things you built last time and take on harder and harder things, but with a better starting point. So First Martians is very akin to Robinson Crusoe. This is its predecessor, but essentially you have to think of it in Robinson Crusoe. You start on a deserted island and you have nothing, and you have to build everything up. Whereas First Martians, here you are on Mars, again, deserted planet, but you pretty much have everything you need. Things are going to go wrong though, so you have to, instead of building stuff up, you have to keep stuff functioning, because if everything fails on you, then you die. So with that being said, everything, all of your production starts at full value. You don't have to worry about finding food, but obviously things are going to go wrong, and we're going to have to be fixing things and exploring. So again, a lot of the concepts are the same. Action pawns, whether you spend 1 or 2 for automatic success, rolling the 3 dice, everything is here. I will say, however, that this game definitely had more setup than Robinson Crusoe. All of these little tiny cubes had to be placed out. Luckily, they do give you these tiles with little punch outs in them, so the cubes aren't going to go anywhere, which, I'm sure during testing was a quality of life thing that they looked into. They also have these few miniatures, which really aren't necessary, but they're just kind of fun. The Froggy, the Scorpio, and then your actual hub here as you go exploring. There's a few things here that I'm not a fan of. One of them are the action pawns. I'm used to Robinson Crusoe's wooden discs, but the ones I got to put stickers on. These are these kind of clear plastic things. They remind me of Empires of the Void tokens, but I don't know, they just don't really fit the theme for me. And also these pictures of these astronauts. I know this is supposed to be like a badge. You can even see that you could punch this out right here and it would look like a name badge, but these are some god-awful pictures, like this guy. Is this like a Portal employee or something like that? I don't get it. But it's kind of a very dry board to look at. It's not as exciting as the Robinson Crusoe board. It's very technical looking. But if you can get over the hurdle of learning the rules and understanding how the game plays, I'm hoping that this is a good companion to Robinson Crusoe and has the campaign. So this will be a great test. We're finally getting it off the shelf and making a run for it, and we're going to see whether it's worth keeping on the shelf and getting out to play the campaign down the road. The last thing I will say here is that the game is app driven, so that I know that really bugs some people, but I feel like it will only help things, because in Robinson Crusoe you are always drawing cards, and whether you resolve them immediately or you decide to push them off, or even if you don't have the choice, sometimes they come back to bite you in the butt. The tricky thing is that you are shuffling these cards that have a specific color on them into your event deck, so when they're coming. You also, unless you are really good at not looking at the bottom of a card, you see what the action is going to be at the end of the day. So it really, the app helps keep that secrecy and that suspense alive. So I'm honestly okay with the app in this type of game. There is no way to play the game without the app. There are no cards. There's enough cards already, and plenty of these little plastic chits, cubes. So without further ado, not going to talk my way through this one because this is a truly learning experience. I'm going to fumble a lot. I'm going to make a lot of rules mistakes. So we're just going to record a little bit for posterity's sake for Shame Week, and then we'll talk a little bit at the end. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are all finished here. I believe I lost. I'm not 100% sure. There is a lot of misinformation here, a lot of stuff missing that, you know, it really is kind of bothersome that they haven't fixed it by now. For example, it says that it's going to tell you in the app where to place these tokens in the beginning, and it doesn't. Maybe it's just because it's the introductory mission, but I basically just placed them out where they were in the setup shot. But in the setup text, it says refer to the app. Another thing is that one of my missions was to plant a seed. Supposedly I was supposed to get a seed in the setup section of the app, or on the app told me it was supposed to be on this encounter sheet. There is no setup section in this encounter sheet. The other side is an entirely different mission. So yeah. But you know, and there's some like errors in the app where, you know, I think it should be a symbol, but that's like the code peeking through. So yeah, things really could be smoother, and I feel like Portal Games has probably just abandoned this game at this point, being that it got such negative press. So I'm really kind of torn, because there was definitely some frustrating things about it, but I did like it. You know, I essentially have my like Friday and dog or whatever tokens here for playing just 2 players, and yeah, I don't see how you could play this with a single player, unless you got like an extra one of these or something. I'd have to go back and remember. I don't remember what it was. Just, what did you get if you were just playing with one person here? If you play solo, use 2 chosen astronauts. All AOMs are available to help you, but in each round you can use no more than 2 of them. You may choose them during each round. Oh. So yeah, what's the difference here? If there are 2 astronauts in play for each mission, you can choose 2 AOMs to help you take their cards and pawns. If you play solo, use 2 chosen astronauts. All AOMs are available to help you, but in each round you can use no more than 2 of them. Well, that would have been beneficial, because I thought, oh, I'll play 2-handed. But if I play solo, if I claim on playing solo, then I get all of them, which would have helped on a few missions. I certainly used the heck out of this build one at every opportunity I could. But needless to say, I actually got pretty close to being successful. In the end, I think the only reason I failed is that I was unable to stay below the threshold. So I currently have 7 broken parts in my hub, and so I think technically it says I cannot exceed the threshold. So I think basically I should have spent more time fixing these, which really means I needed to go out and get this. There's no way to find spare parts. That's the thing. You know, this one thing of area of interest, so I guess I need to explore more to get more area. Now, see, interesting caves, gain 1 what? 1 token, 1 blue token. There's that. that's just going to give me a success. So yeah, how do you gain spare parts in this game? Because they are integral for a mission like this. I know that picking these two up got me, it got me 2 for picking the 7 up. I guess I needed to go get the 8. So I repaired 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I repair half of those down, then it's 4. So randomly 2 other ones here can be broken, but I allowed 3. Anyways, I tried doing this whole swap thing, swap the oxygenator out of the crew quarters, but there's still 7 things broken in the hub. So that was frustrating, that I wanted to fix things, but I didn't have the spare parts to do it. There's no way to go out and like find spare parts without breaking something else and exceeding my threshold. So yeah, I guess, technically it says exploring these 7 and 8 tiles are optional, but they almost seems like they aren't. Collect spare parts to repair the hub. Anyways, so yeah, I have some thinking to do on this. I'm gonna go, actually what I'm gonna do now is go watch a couple playthroughs and review some forums on BGG just to see if everybody else has had these same experiences, or did my app just like skip a page or something like that, because there's just something very off here. It's missing some information, missing some text, missing some setup rules, which can lead to frustrating gameplay. Plus the setup was ridiculous. I honestly don't know if this is worth going through all this again. Technically I could leave it out, but I've got way more games to play this weekend, so I've got to now clean all this up and move on to the next one. So that was a very quick first impressions of First Martians. Adventures on the Red Planet by Portal Games.